Yo, 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 what's going on? We back with another one, man. It's your boy, your man, BWS Squire, man. BWF Media TV back in full effect. Hey, we got another reaction for y'all. This one's basically a lot of Americans nowadays, man. They are pretty frustrated with what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're complaining about their jobs and how the economy is working and things like that. So, I just wanted to do a reaction to a couple people out there, man. That's speaking their mind, man, telling the people, man, how they feel. What's the climate going on nowadays? You know what I'm saying? Inflation, people, saying they can't really afford food, rent, things like that, and just the whole outcome in general, right? So we're going to get into it, man. Without no further ado, make sure y'all hit that like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? And hype us up. Hey, let's get to it.
Filled up the gas tank, got a 12-pack and a burrito, $123. Why am I still in this country? I'm not sure. 123 USD in Mexico, that's a used Toyota Camry. Adios.
Stop blaming people for the way the economy is. We don't need to cut back on nothing else. We done cut back on everything. There's nothing else left. It's just not enough. Y'all telling me that now it's the car note. No, your car note might probably too high. Bro, I have a Kia. My shit's only $400 something. The insurance only like $150. I can't get it no lower. That's as low as it's gonna go, bro. It's the economy.
Fact.
It's nothing that I'm doing. I'm not buying nothing extra. I'm not taking flights. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not overspending on lunch, luxuries, goods, nothing. Everything's just too high. It's not enough money in circulation. Make the prices go down. That's what it fixes. It's not nothing I'm doing.
Hey YouTube,
Right.
everywhere online people are talking about feeling stuck financially, not because they're refusing to work hard, but because the life they expected to build seems harder to reach than ever. In today's TikTok compilation, we're looking at these frustrations and why so many Americans feel like they're running full speed without getting very far. The bigger issue isn't just rising prices, it's that the rewards people thought that would come from years of hard work doesn't seem as guaranteed as it used to.
People think, oh, these kids are so burned out, they're just lazy. It's like, no, they're working 40 hours a week, but at the end of the month, they have nothing to show for it. So if you're not making any progress and you look back 5 years and go, damn, I made $300,000 in the last 5 years, or I made $400,000 in the last 5 years, and I have nothing. If anything, I have $25,000 in debt. That's going to create burnout because you feel like you just put in 5 years of work and have nothing to show for it.
Yo, real quick. Hey, anybody out there feel the same way? Y'all made a whole bunch of money over the last couple years, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 200,000-300,000, something like that. And you still broke? Yo, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if it's a problem for how we was spending before and now it's catching up to us, but it's starting to get ugly out here, man.
And we still have people blaming them that, well, the reason you're broke is because of the coffee. It's like, no, it's the 25% inflation that we've faced that just destroyed people's spending power. It's the 30% increase in rent prices where people are spending 40% of their money on rent. You're still being taxed 20, 25, 30%. People just don't have any money. People aren't having kids. They're not being able to start families. People are struggling financially, fighting financially. Relationships are suffering. This is all decline in living standards. You realize millennials with degrees are living with roommates into their 30s, not having kids? How do you have a Thanksgiving in a 900 square foot apartment? How do you have a dog and go play in the backyard and make memories with your kids? I was living in an apartment complex just 2.5 years ago. Tons of kids. They may do, but they're all playing on the cement floors in the hallway because they don't have a yard. Because houses are $400,000. Humans are good at adapting, but there's a fine line between adapting and being taken advantage of, and I think we're being taken advantage of.
Wow.
We were sold a lie. We were told that if we go to college, we get a better education, and we just work really hard, we could have the American dream. That's just not the case anymore. That's not the case anymore. I did that. I got a better education. I got a job that's supposed to be good. I worked hard. And honestly, I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life. And I'm probably the brokest I've ever been.
Yo, Hey, I kind of feel that though, because I know some people that got really, really good jobs, real good education too. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard for them to get a job if they don't got one, or if they got one, you know, and they still get paid pretty well, you know, they still struggling a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Again, like, you know, the guy said before, you know what I'm saying? Even if you pay for a cup of coffee and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like, that's not gonna make you broke. But it's like one of those things. It's like, I guess we're in the times now that we gotta watch every dollar, and we gotta know where each dollar is going. You know what I'm saying? Especially if we don't got a job or is looking for a job, you know? So, man, it's hard to hear this, man. It's kind of messed up, especially when you know, you pay for college, you know, you did the right thing, and you expecting, hey, I went to school, I got my degree, you know, I applied for the job that I went to school for. I'm an expert, not an expert, but I know what's going on because I went to school for it. I mean, you expect to, you know what I'm saying? You expect to make it's gonna happen, right? But when it don't happen, you're like, yo, what's going on? Or it happened and you still ain't where you think you need to be, right? All right, no more talking.
Inflation is out of control. Inflation is the problem. Our wages are not keeping up with the cost of living. Gas is $5 a gallon. Rent is astronomical. Forget buying a fucking house. It's not possible.
No, it's possible.
Groceries, take out a loan. Take out a fucking loan if you want to buy groceries on a monthly basis. And I have a child, so I have to buy groceries on almost a weekly basis, if not, you know, maybe every 2 weeks. It's just bullshit. We can't keep doing things the way that our parents, our grandparents did things. We have to change something. Something has to change.
For a long time, people were told that if they worked hard, stayed out of trouble, and kept moving forward, certain milestones would eventually come. Owning a house is one of them. Starting a family without constantly worrying about money was another. Even something as simple as taking a vacation every year used to feel more realistic for average families. Now a lot of people look at these goals and see price tags that seem impossible to reach. And what's interesting is that many aren't asking for luxury. They're not talking about mansions or sports cars. They're talking about things that used to be considered pretty normal parts of adulthood. When those goals start feeling further and further away every single year, people naturally start questioning whether all their efforts actually paying off. That's where
Yeah, they questioning it. But just like anything, you know, I'm from the hood, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the mud, you know what I mean? So we had to figure it out, you know. And one thing about my culture, I don't know this, I'm not speaking for everybody, but as far as my experience, it's like, yeah, things could go up, but we just hustle harder. We don't even complain. We find loopholes, or the loopholes that they give us, because there is loopholes. There's certain ways you can get around, and you spend something and you doubling back, you know, whether it be cash back on the credit card, or you doing you know, they got these things nowadays where if you want to take flights and stuff like that, and you want to get the frequent flyer miles, you don't even got to fly. You can go on their website and they got these things called e-shopping, right? On, like, let's say American Airlines or something. You type in e-shopping and you go through their platform, buy your stuff that you normally will buy anyway, right? But they're going to give you miles for each dollar, right? They're going to give you a certain amount of miles, so then you can collect miles while you spending on the same thing that you're spending on. And now you can go ahead and take those miles and go on a trip or go somewhere. You know, that was just a little caveat. I don't mean to interrupt.
a lot of the frustration comes from. It's not just the money itself, it's about feeling the reward at the end of the road that keeps getting pushed further and further away.
6 figures is no longer enough. I don't know how y'all are surviving in the US economy. I don't know how people are making it. For some reason, all of these videos keep popping up on my feed about people losing their jobs and can't sell their house. Groceries are too high. They're working 3 jobs and it's still not enough. And it's just like, I don't even search this stuff, but the algorithm must know, like, it's getting hard. It's getting hard for all of us. Even if you make 6 figures, even if you make 100,000, 200,000, like, it's literally not enough, because it seems like everything continues to go up. Everything except our salaries continue to go up. So
Right.
I just want to know, let's have a conversation in the comment section. Who is doing okay? Who is struggling? Who is at wit's end? Who is like, I'm this close to living out of my car. I'm this close to. And then the thing is, it's a domino effect, because as soon as people get to their wit's end point, to where it's like, I'm willing to do whatever I got to do to survive, to feed my family. And this is why you have the domino effect of all the violence, all the this and that. It's because everything is trickling down.
Mm.
We literally cannot survive. And if you have not invested, if you don't have any savings, if you don't have any assets, if you've been living paycheck to paycheck before all of this, now you're going into debt, or some people can't even borrow money. Like, we are in literal hard times. If you are not in the United States, let me know where you are and how the economy is for you. But we're in bad times. We're in hard times with the United States economy, the job market. I'm so grateful that I have a job, that I make the money that I do, but none of it is guaranteed. None of it's guaranteed. We could wake up tomorrow and be like, all these people getting laid off back to back. I've seen videos. People are like getting laid off for 4 times in 2 years. It's really bad. How y'all holding up?
Again, I get it. I super get it. Let me throw a caveat in there. Sometimes I like to play devil's advocate just a little bit. I get it, because I'm going through it too, as far as like, I understand where people are coming from. But sometimes I think, you got to twist your mind a little bit. You got to flip it, right? There are ways you can buy a house or, make more money. It might not be as glamorous as we would like it to be, right? But there's opportunities, right? There's places like Detroit right now. You could get a house for like $1,000, and get the grant to fix it up. But not a lot of people want to live in Detroit, right? Or Ohio, or Cincinnati, or something like that. Like something that's just, you got to lower your standards a little bit. Not necessarily lower the standards, but in order to get into the game, you got to know, you got to find the deals. That's like going to the store and you just searching for the sales or the coupons back in the day. You getting the coupons and you adding up those coupons so you could go ahead and get that turkey or whatever you try and get, right, for Thanksgiving or whatever it is, right? You got to be thrifty. You know what I'm saying? You want a new couch or something like that, man. Maybe you got to go on Facebook Marketplace or something, man. Talk to people down. I don't know. You just got to get crafty. But I feel if you are used to a certain lifestyle and you don't want to kind of get in the trenches a little bit, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard.
I just want to get ahead in life. I just want to get ahead in life. And I'm doing all the things that we're supposed to be doing. We're working, we're paying our bills, we're barely paying bills. Our utility payment a month is almost as much as our mortgage. Sometimes it's as much as our mortgage. So we're just barely paying bills.
But you got a mortgage.
And heaven forbid something fucking come up. Like needing a tooth fucking pulled.
Nah,
I know you see that.
I feel you.
But it's okay. Because my husband has a really good job.
God bless him.
And he has insurance.
God bless him. That's why you married that man.
What a fucking joke. It's okay, guys. We're doing so good in life. We're making more money than we've ever made in our life. It's okay, guys, because We're all covered on insurance. It's okay, guys, because we should be making enough money with our health coverage and our dental insurance that we should be able to pay our fucking bills, and we should be able to pay our fucking groceries. We should be able to go to the dentist and use our fucking dental insurance. No, it's fine. It's fine. We have the dental insurance, but that'll be $800 fucking dollars to have that tooth pulled.
Right. I feel
Because the insurance isn't actually going to pay for it. I have to pay for it up front. I have to pay the entire bill up front, and then the insurance might reimburse me. And I said, let's go ahead and schedule an appointment, right? We'll go ahead and put you on our schedule. We just need you to pay the total today. Today. It's fun.
Another reason people feel so stretched thin is because modern life seems to be built around monthly payments. Before people even think about saving money, a huge chunk of their paycheck is already spoken for. There's rent or a mortgage, car insurance, phone bills, internet, streaming services, health expenses, various memberships and subscriptions that slowly pile up over time. None of these payments feel huge individually. The problem is how many of them all exist at once. You can make a decent amount of money and still feel broke because it disappears automatically every month. That's why a lot of people say they never feel caught up. The issue isn't one massive expense. It's the constant feeling that money is leaving just as fast as it comes in, or faster.
All right, let's talk about high rent price.
Real quick. I feel that last one, and it's a shame that people got to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? I think now more than ever, we have to know that everything is expensive. It don't matter what's going on, right? That's why I said before, it's about just being strategic. And I know it sounds cliche and I don't know what I'm talking about or whatever. I get it. But hey, man, you might have to go to your city hall or somewhere and look into like grants and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's been, man, I ain't gonna lie, I had probably like 2 grants that helped me out of a situation. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't the most glamorous thing to do, because you obviously you vulnerable. You gotta tell these people all your business. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so you can get some help. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know, it helped, you know, and I bounced back because of it. So I know it's hard, and sometimes people don't want to ask for help, or even if you think you might not qualify, you'd be surprised at these programs out here that the government has to put money towards every year, right? Because they're obligated to the people. It's just up to us to do our due diligence and see what's going on. You see what I'm saying? But I know. Just put it down in the comment section, man.
This is in low wages in South Carolina. Rent is so high living in South Carolina. I don't even understand how anybody is affording anything at this point in time. Like, people supposedly come here to retire, right? Everybody's moving from New York, New Jersey, Michigan, Ohio, and whatnot. I'm trying to figure out where the money at, right? I make $2,000 a month, and not including what I do for side jobs. My rent currently is $2,000 a month for a 3-bedroom that doesn't even have ceiling lights. I had to buy my own lamps when I moved in here to light up my rooms. The living room, the kitchen, the hallway, and the bathrooms are the only rooms inside my apartment that have lights on them. But I'm supposed to be living in luxury, right? How is anybody affording anything when the wages are staying the exact same, but the rent prices continue to go up in South Carolina, right? I'm not understanding how any of this is supposed to work. So if anybody has any input, I would gladly appreciate you telling me what's up. I don't want to hear work harder, because I work hard every single day. It's impossible. Ever since there's no tax on overtime, the one thing that I've noticed at the jobs that I've been at, they don't let you reach overtime. You feel what I'm saying? As soon as you get close to reaching overtime, they send you home. And if there's not enough work in other jobs, they send you home. That's the case with my wife. We're supposed to be making at least close to $4,300 a month. We should be able to afford where we're staying at. We don't really have any extra expenses. I mean, I do smoke, but I only get maybe like 2 packs a week, right? But they send her home early half the time. And then we got to try to make that up on the back end because we're not reaching full-time hours when we're supposed to be reaching full-time hours. Why isn't there some type of law or whatever in place that if you are full-time, it's mandatory for you to reach your full-time hours unless you either call out sick, have some form of an emergency situation where you have to leave and go home? We should not be able to be sent home early when we sign a contract to be on for full-time. Again, I'm not really sure how most of this work. If you know how most of this work, then please let me know what's up, because right now I'm at a loss. Especially when you have a family, right? Me, myself, I have a family of 6. How am I supposed to afford $2,000 a month rent while supporting a family of 6 when we can't get overtime? The wages are completely stagnant. We're constantly getting sent home earlier and everything else. How are we supposed to be doing this? Like, we have our governor's race that's coming up here in November is when we're supposed to be selecting our new governor. Henry McMaster is out. Whoever this governor is that's coming in for November needs to put this to the forefront. One of the main issues, the fact that we are in supposedly a booming economy. Where's the money and where's the jobs? The only jobs you see in South Carolina, they either administrative, manufacturing, or some type of health practitioner. That's it. Any place else, anything else, unless you get more towards Rock Hill, towards North Carolina, there's no jobs here that you can really get into that will allow you to support yourself, because everything around here is so freaking high. Where are the jobs? Where are the jobs? We talk about education, but if I got to work 2 jobs with a family of 6, while I'm sitting here drowning, how can we manage trying to get some form of a skill, or to try to do something, go to college, or even do online college, to try to make that work when you have all these other responsibilities to take care of? But they'll tell you, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
I mean, listen, man. If you know me, you know I'm an optimist. Off rip. I don't like woe is me situations, but I understand. You get me? That's why I don't like thinking like that. I like to think, okay, where's the silver lining in all of this? You get me? The brother said that he smoked cigarettes, right? I smoke vapes. I used to smoke cigarettes. I used to smoke herb, right? One thing, I wanted to quit herb, so I quit herb, but it was because I wanted to quit herb, and on top of that, I could save money, right? I'm trying to get off this boy, and this gonna be gone soon. You get what I'm saying? But the thing about it is that them cigarettes, I know them cigarettes cost about $15, $20 a pack. You get me? And you doing at least, you said what, twice a month at least? On the stressful month, it might be 4 packs. You see what I'm saying? So we looking at damn near, $80 or something like that. So you add that up for a whole year, you damn near at a rack. You see what I'm saying? So if you put that same money into, like, let's say a high yield savings, like a SoFi or something like that, giving you 4% on your money, it ain't a lot. But what I'm saying is, sometimes we have to let go some stuff to free up some bread. You see what I'm saying? If you're a hustler, you know how to do that. I'm not saying these people ain't hustlers. I'm saying a hustler gonna do what a hustler do. And he seen something that's blocking the paper, he gonna get rid of it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that we gotta think about. And on top of that, I know he just said he got 6 kids, and he said if he gotta work 2 jobs, meaning I guess he's meaning that he ain't working 2 jobs at this point, right? He's working 1 job, he's trying to get it in the mud with that 1 job. But his wife is working a job, so he think that's enough, but it turned out not to be enough. So what does that mean? You have to get a second job, G. Yeah, we're gonna be tired, G. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna get tired. You see what I'm saying? But you can't get tired. You gotta keep going, bro and sisters. You know what I'm saying? We gotta figure it out. We can't be like, well, these people gotta save us, because you know they not gonna save us. They not. They don't care. Really, I'm gonna keep it thorough with you. They don't care. And if they do, they gonna act like they care and really don't give you what you thought you needed, right? So I don't know. That's my thing, man. Put it in the comment section.
Yeah. Okay. So what we need to do, we got options here. Lower the rent prices and raise the wages, or lower the rent prices and keep the wages the same. And you just go ahead and move ahead, do what you got to do while you're able to afford to live, bro. Everything has been cut off. You got to pay more money for daycare, bro. Like, half the paycheck is going towards daycare.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So what do you mean? What do you mean?
That's a killer.
If we stay home with the kids, we don't work, we don't make any money. That's it, bro. Because if I keep going, I'm gonna go in. Let me know if you feel the same. Drop a comment down in the comment box. Like the video. Communicate with me. Let me know what's going on.
Yeah,
we need help out here. If anybody got any information or insight, please let me know. Again, this is South Carolina. I would love for the community of South Carolina to get on here and comment, because we got to do something about this, bro. I don't know how anybody is living in this supposed booming economy. Ain't nothing working out.
They working 3 jobs.
The hardest part for many people isn't necessarily where they are today. It's not knowing where they'll be in 5 or 10 years. Most people can deal with challenges when they believe there's a clear reward waiting on the other side. Students study because they expect opportunities later. Employees work hard because they hope to advance. Families make sacrifices because they want a better future. But when people start feeling uncertain about whether those sacrifices will actually lead anywhere, motivation becomes harder to maintain. That's why conversations about money become so emotional. They're rarely just about a grocery bill or a rent payment. They're about a bigger question sitting underneath it all. Will the effort I'm putting in today actually create a better life tomorrow? And when millions of people start asking that same question at the same time, it tells us there's something deeper happening than just a few expensive purchases. People aren't simply worried about paying for life right now. They're worried about what life is going to look like in the future. And until people feel more confident about that future again, these conversations probably aren't going anywhere.
Anytime someone is struggling financially, there's always that one person that has to say, oh, you tried giving up the Starbucks. Oh, have you tried cooking at home? And I often wonder if these people realize that rents are $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
Listen, I know. Trust me, I'm living in California. Okay. San Francisco to be exact. Okay. So look up the prices on that. All right. So I understand. I get you. You know what I'm saying? We've been pressed for years. The money's been pressed for years. Okay. But we so used to it that our mentality is like, look, man, we gotta get to it. They're gonna keep pressing us. You just gotta find that light. Find it. You know what I'm saying? It's there. You know, buy some land. Throw a trailer on that boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can get some land, especially in North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere, you know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and get an acre for like, I don't know, couple racks, you know what I'm saying? Or if you got to pay a little bit of money, I know with land you can get seller financing. You know, throw a couple hundred down and you paying a couple hundred a month until that boy paid off. And I know it ain't easy. Don't tell me. I'm just saying these things I'm doing. You get what I'm saying? These are the little strategies I be, putting in play. But what I'm saying is if there's a will, there is a way, especially for the future, because we gotta block it. Because if we give up now, it's over. You might as well just throw in the white flag now. Say, listen, man, come and get me. You know, I can't handle it. You feel me? Because if you don't fight, they gonna force it. It's gonna get worse and worse.
And yeah, you could move somewhere where the rent is cheaper.
Yeah.
But most of those places don't have any industry. There's no jobs. So then when you're trying to get to work from those places and the places that do have the jobs, your car is going to break down. And now you have to pay for those expenses because we don't have good transportation here in the entire country. We don't even have high-speed rail yet.
Oh,
not to mention childcare is like $300 a week.
Yeah.
And the jobs pay like $17 an hour, and they want you to have like 6 years experience and a master's degree. Utility prices have gone up insane.
Yeah.
Mobile phones have like 17 different charges that I don't even know what the heck all those charges are.
Right.
Colleges are overcharging, so you have to get a loan to even be able to afford to go to school to try to make your life better.
Right.
And don't get me started on insurance companies, medical insurance companies, especially if you have some type of illness. You have to pay all these co-pays. You have to fight with them on things they may not even cover. So now you have medical bills. And dental insurance is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
And yeah, of course you can cook at home if you can even afford the price of food. And all sorts of corporations are getting greedier and greedier. If you live in an HOA, the HOA is trying to nickel and dime you for everything.
Yeah, no HOA.
If you live in a mobile home community, guess what? They're going up on the rents too.
That's why you get your own land.
More than mobile homes have ever cost before.
Yeah, that's true.
And I could literally go on and on and on for like an hour, but I just want to say this. If in the midst of all of this that people are going through, they want to have a drink, a little sweet treat, let them have that. Like, people are suffering enough. If there is any joy that they can get from maybe treating themselves sometimes, they have a right to that.
They do.
Like, if I'm broke, can I at least have some joy in my life? Jeez.
Yeah, you got to work for it.
Honestly, more and more, I talk to people every day. Everyone is tired.
I feel you.
Everyone is just burnt out and tired, and just kind of wondering how we're supposed to keep going on like this. And I'm kind of like, you want me to pay bills and keep carrying on like everything is normal right now? All I can do is drink a Baja Blast and ignore all of my problems. That's really it.
A lot of people aren't.
You know what? This is what I want to say, because I'm a father, right? So when I hear stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I get it. But I'm also looking around, though, right? You got a new car. You got some jewelry on. You got a Baja Blast that you got from maybe like Taco Bell or something. And when I think about that, I always think about, okay, what instead of having those things, what could you had bought that could have made your situation less stressful? Even though I know you want it, and I know you want your treats, I know it, right? But the thing about it is, we're in a time where sometimes you got to tighten that belt a little bit, right? Especially if you ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? You can't treat yourself if you ain't got it, right? Like they say, it ain't tricking if you got it. So if you got it, you got it. You see what I'm saying? If you ain't got it and you want the treat, then you got to do one or two things. You got to not have the treat, or you got to work harder for the treat. And that's messed up to say. And I know it's messed up to say, and I hate even saying it. But we in a time now that no one's going to come and save you. You might have some compassionate people out there that might look out for you here and there. But as far as long term is concerned, you gotta put your head down and keep grinding and figure it out. And every dollar gotta count.
They're losing motivation because they suddenly become lazy. They're losing motivation because the connection between hard work and meaningful progress feels weaker than it used to. You can work more hours, pick up a side hustle, cut back on spending, and still feel like you're barely keeping up. Advice that used to sound helpful, like skipping takeout or
Keeping
making
up with
coffee at
what
home, doesn't
though?
hit the same when rent, insurance, and basic necessities take up most of your paycheck. Every solution seems to require more work, more hours, more productivity, more optimization, more sacrifices. Even relaxing can feel stressful because there's always a pressure to be doing something that makes money. Social media adds another layer to this because you're constantly seeing people talk about layoffs, debt, housing costs, and financial stress. Eventually, people stop feeling excited about the future because they're too busy trying to manage the present. That's not a motivation problem, that's burnout.
Seeing TikToks every fucking day about unemployment, bro. Do y'all know how it fucking feels to apply for a job that you're not even 2 fucking minutes away from by walk? I can see my job right now from my fucking house. I've been rained on trying to get this fucking job. I called them earlier. They're like, yeah, I can do an interview for you fucking today. Come back at 5 o'clock. It's 5:30 right now. I go to this job. Why the fuck is it so hard to get a job to the point where I'm literally standing there for 10 fucking minutes getting rained on at the fucking job?
I feel you.
Just for these niggas to look at me through the fucking window, watching me getting rained on, and to tell me to come back tomorrow. Do y'all know how many times I've had to wait for tomorrow to come? And these motherfuckers will still not hire me. It is the worst fucking day possible. It has never rained this bad. And I feel like my prayers are never getting answered.
Yeah, they're gonna get answered, G.
To just get a fucking job.
They're gonna get answered, G.
To the point where it's raining so fucking hard, all my clothes are wet. Talk about unemployment. Talk about how hard it is to get a fucking job.
I feel you, G.
Asking God, begging God to fucking help me.
Don't do that. Don't do that, G.
Just to keep getting shut down over and over again. And yes, nigga, I'm making a fucking TikTok about it because there's nothing else for me to do. I spend all my fucking days sitting at the fucking house doing nothing.
Damn. Make some content,
doing
G.
Absolutely nothing. So yes, this is a fucking mental breakdown on my fucking phone.
I feel you, man. Damn.
Because of how hard it is out here.
Damn.
I'm a fucking college student. I pay my own fucking tuition. And it is still hard to get a fucking job out here. It don't make no fucking sense. Just to get rained on.
I feel you.
While praying to God about finding me a job so I can provide for myself.
Yo, man, I just want to bring this up real quick, man. I remember when I was homeless, right? I had got out of divorce and it was in Atlanta. And I come back to San Francisco. I had nowhere to go, right? My guy helped me get a job after months. Before that, I was doing DoorDash, right? And this is when the electric scooters that you see everybody riding around on, that's when they first dropped, right? So what me and my guys did, we'll go ahead and rent those scooters and we'll jump on DoorDash. And it'd be like maybe like 3 or 4 of us. And we made a game out of it. Like, we about to go ahead and DoorDash and you know, see who can make the most money, right, on these scooters and stuff like that, right? And then we elevated from renting scooters to buying our own scooter to getting a bike to getting a moped, then we got a car, you know what I'm saying? So it was like one of them type of situations, right? But it was this one thing, right? After that, my guy got me a job, right? And it wasn't like he got me the job, he referred me. So I still had to go through the motions. And mind you, I'm homeless, right? And every once in a while, my boy, he'll let me, you know, sleep at his crib. And he didn't have no crib. It was like, you know, I didn't want to put the situation out there, but we was in the trenches, put it that way. So it was a time where I was working 2 jobs, right? A full-time job in the morning. As soon as I get off, I'll work a part-time job. Right. And how I thought about it was, at least I got somewhere to go and I'm making some bread. Right. right after the job, I'll probably hang out with some coworkers or whatever, go hang out with my boys for a second, whatever, chop it up. Once they about to go to bed, I gotta go. Now I'm walking the streets until about 5 in the morning until my job start again. So I have somewhere to go. You see what I'm saying? So the reason why I say that story is because I know how hard it can be. And I understand the struggles, but it's one of those things where, again, you're going to sink or swim, period. It's that simple. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this about bro or nothing. If anybody hear this, I'm saying this as motivation from somebody who done it. You see what I'm saying? And if you don't just stay focused, and I know at times it's easier said than done. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't the most cool fan all the time either. You get me? But it was the mentality that I kept myself with that didn't shut me down, because I knew if I shut down, it's over with. It's over. Because not only is it over for me, but then now anybody that maybe felt some type of way about me or whatever, that's they fuel. Oh yeah, P-Dub, he ain't gonna be nothing. I knew he wasn't gonna be nothing anyway. You know what I'm saying? Those type of things I'm hearing in my head. Like, I can't let myself down. I'm gonna for sure let the haters down. You know what I'm saying? But and most importantly, I can't let my future down. You see what I'm saying? No matter what I'm going through, right? So I just say that to say this, that we just gotta keep, I know it's hard, but just pray and and just know that God got it. And that's what saved me too, because I always knew God got me. Even if I had to go through the worst, it was like, it was still not as bad in my mind as it seemed, right?
So yes, I see everybody posting about how hard it is to get a fucking job. Look at me getting rained on. After this company just told me, oh yeah, we got you at an interview, come back in 30 minutes.
Yeah, and again, a caveat again, the person who got me the job again, I always got referrals, right? So it's always good to just check in with your people. They might know somebody and say, yeah, I think they hiring over there. I'm going to put in a word for you. Or, you know, just go up there. I heard they was hiring. Sometimes you just got to go everywhere. I was doing stuff I don't even want to do. I didn't even come from that cloth. I'm still doing the work, you know? So I'm just saying, just stay motivated, G. Doors gonna open up, and pray.
I'm here at your door every day. My job is so close. This job is so close to my house. I am looking right at it from my house right now.
That's a luxury,
Talk
G.
about being overqualified.
That's a luxury.
Talk about not being qualified enough. I can see y'all from my house. That is how close I am to y'all.
I don't know nobody.
Sit here and go through these applications and swear to God I'm not qualified.
I don't know nobody with a job right next to the crib. I'm sorry, I just don't. Unless you're working from home, I just don't know.
When I am right here, coming up every day, asking for a job. I've never done this. I've never captured so much fucking emotion, but y'all have no idea how hard it is out here.
I know it's hard, but it's look like you at a crib, right? So rent and all that, you ain't got to worry about. It as far as what I'm seeing. I don't know the situation. I don't know if you're about to get kicked out. I don't know the situation. I just know you up under something right now or next to something. And you talking about a job that's 2 blocks down that you want to get. And I get it. They probably fronting on you. Go to another job, G. You might have to go a mile now. Maybe 2 miles. You know what I'm saying? Maybe take a bus somewhere. You see what I'm saying? I'm sorry, bro. It's just, that's what I'm big bro. I'm just saying it like big bro. Like somebody would tell me if I needed it. You know what I'm saying? Not sugarcoating it, G. And I'm sorry.
Support yourself. This shit is absolutely fucking crazy. I'm at home every fucking day with my siblings that come home from school. Doing content creation, hoping to God I can just get the fuck out of here.
You gonna
hoping
get there.
to God I can support myself. And I would fucking be damned if no matter what I do, nothing is working. This shit is fucking ridiculous, y'all.
It's gonna work, G. It's gonna work.
To sit there waiting to cross the street and getting splashed on by cars constantly. Talk about being underqualified or overqualified or unemployed. This is the fucking worst times I've ever lived in.
I feel you, G.
Just to pay for my fucking tuition and go back to school. Just to pay off this debt because I have to constantly take out my fucking Cash App borrow feature to fucking eat. Because I don't have any fucking money.
I feel you.
Talk about struggle. Talk about being underqualified and unemployed. This is the fucking struggle right here.
Y'all, we are so
for sure.
Like so everything is going to hell. I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. Everything is going to hell. We're getting scammed, whether it's these bills going up and up, scam. Insurance is a fucking scam. These restaurants are price gouging us out of food, so we ain't gonna be able to buy food no more. We're gonna have to depend on food pantries.
I did that too.
Yeah, and income to debt, the income to debt ratio is doing nothing right now but widening.
I don't think it's clicking for a lot of people that the cost of our basic necessities is starting to outpace our paychecks. Gas, utilities, groceries, property tax, rent. It's all adding up. Even if you had a good job and it paid for all those things before, it's no longer relevant. People are going into debt just to cover their basic necessities.
Americans are going broke just trying to survive right now, to the point that people can't even afford to eat. 25% of Americans say they've skipped meals recently just to cover monthly expenses, which I thought was bad until I read a third of people surveyed say they've skipped medical treatment to focus on bills, skipped going to the doctor. But it's all part of a growing debt crisis in America. More than 100 million people carry credit card debt and can't pay it off. And honestly, it's hard to blame them when the average interest rate sits at 24%. And while you're drowning in debt, a new study estimates that banks have collected $2.1 trillion in credit card interest since 2010. At some point, the irresponsible spending narrative has to give way to the fact that modern life just isn't affordable anymore.
Hey, it's Twig, and I posted a video about how you cannot buy the ingredients for spaghetti at $7.25, which is the federal minimum wage. And after an hour's worth of work, it's still not enough to pay for the ingredients to make basic spaghetti. 3 ingredients: noodles, sauce, and beef. I made a video about how you can't afford it on a minimum wage salary or wage. And there's already people in the comments talking about how, oh, well, you went to Trader Joe's. That's one of the most expensive grocery stores. You didn't need to get meat. You could have made spaghetti without having any meat in it. You can go to the grocery store. You can use coupons. You can, if this is the point, they're walking right around it. The point is not that you can find these ingredients cheaper if you look somewhere else. The point is that these ingredients shouldn't be this expensive to begin with.
It shouldn't. And I don't think people are walking around the point. I think people are just saying we can't complain necessarily, even though we can, about prices and what companies do for their bottom line, right? Because that's basically what they doing. The company is doing that, right? Trader Joe's is hiking the prices up, right? They probably don't gotta hike the prices up. We don't know what's going on in them boardroom meetings, but they hiking them up, right? So we understand, or at least I understand what you're saying, right? I like to shop at certain places too, you know what I'm saying? But there do come a time where I remember when I was, it was actually a couple of days ago, the first time in a long time, I walked into Dollar Tree and I was shocked. I know it's supposed to be $1, but again, I'm in California, everything like $1.50. And I'm walking in there like it's Christmas. I'm like, what? That's $1, $1.50. All that toilet paper, whole rolls, $1.50. Oh yeah, I'm about to come up here and clean up. I mean, that's just kind of my mentality. You know what I'm saying? Some people look at that and be like, oh, Pat, you tripping. I ain't shopping at no Dollar Tree. They don't got my brand I like and this and that. And I get it. But for me, I'm like, shoot, hey, that's a deal. I'm grabbing that. And it's going to save me $1 or $2.
And the federal minimum wage should be way higher than $7.25, because regardless of where you're getting these ingredients, you should be able to make spaghetti by purchasing noodles, sauce, and a protein for minimum wage. An hour's worth of work at $7.25 should be enough for you to get basic ingredients to make spaghetti. And if you're arguing, go somewhere cheaper, use a coupon, go to the dollar store, get the off-brand, find a cheaper grocery store, you are missing the point, my friend.
I know I am.
A lot of people hear conversations about the economy and immediately think of.
Yeah, listen, I know I'm probably missing the point. And if you've probably seen this reaction, I apologize. Again, look back or rewind and what I talked to you about when I was homeless and stuff like that. I'll eat ramen noodles. I was borrowing groceries and cigarettes from the bodega, you know what I'm saying? Because he seen me in the neighborhood and he seen me hustling. And I was like, hey man, you think I could borrow something till tomorrow? Boom, he let me borrow it. Boom, boom. It was like that. It was like a community. You see what I'm saying? And those little things helped me bubble up. You know, it was just the little things, you know what I'm saying, that I had to appreciate, because again, it's gonna get worse. We can't be in this mentality that, you know, we already giving up. We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry I'm being devil's advocate. I guess, again, I'm an optimist. I look at things in total different light when it comes to stuff like this, because I feel you have to be positive. You got to think your way out of this and pray your way out of this. You see what I'm saying? And doors is going to open. You might have to learn a little bit, you know, go on ChatGPT or something. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I got, you know, $100 a week. You know, how can I budget this? I know it sounds crazy, but what I'm saying, you got to go through the motions in order to get ahead and take some sacrifices. You know what I'm saying? And I know it's not a good thing to hear, but I guess I'm going to be the one to say it, man. You know, I'm going to be the one that's going to keep you going. If you was in front of me right now, I'd be like, listen, I get it. But hey, we got to move. We got to move. They coming. We got to move. You hear me?
About vacations, new cars, or luxury items. But that's not where the frustration comes from. People are stressed because the things you need to survive keep getting more expensive. Groceries cost more, rent keeps rising, insurance is more expensive, and even things like fast food or a trip to the store feel noticeably different than they did a few years ago. When basic necessities take up most of someone's paycheck, there isn't much room left for mistakes. A flat tire, a medical bill, or a broken appliance can completely throw off an entire month. That's why some people feel anxious every time they check their bank account, even if they're working full-time. The problem isn't always that people are spending irresponsibly. For a lot of families, they've already cut back on the extras. They're cooking at home more, canceling subscriptions, and delaying purchases they actually need. When people start debating whether they can afford groceries or have to put the essentials on a credit card, that's when you know something deeper is happening. Financial stress feels different when it follows you into every everyday decision.
We can't keep doing this. Last night I went to the grocery store. 2 bags of groceries. $72. This morning I stopped and filled up my tank. $60. I just put gas in it 2 days ago.
I pay more than that.
I do drive a little bit to work, but no matter what you do, you got nothing.
You got
something. No matter how hard you work, no matter how early you go in, no matter how much you make, you got nothing.
You got it, G.
At the end of the week, you got nothing.
You got something, G. You got God on you.
Can't afford a house. Can't afford food.
You can afford a house.
Can't afford utilities.
Not the type of house you want.
Every time you go to the store, a bag of chips is like $6 or $7. A loaf of bread, $5.
Yeah.
A gallon of milk, $5. The only thing that's fucking cheap is a dozen eggs. I've been thinking about living off eggs. Have an egg for breakfast, have a hard-boiled egg for lunch, and have a fucking omelet with no cheese for dinner. It seems like everybody in the world has nothing. But why are the people in government so rich? I heard a theory the other day, and he said that, what if everybody in government made minimum wage for a year? Would things change? I don't know. They probably fucking suffer for a year, but then they probably go right back to being the same way they were before. Nobody's got nothing. Elderly got nothing. You see old people at the gas station trying to buy gas, and you can see it in their eyes. They got nothing. Young kids just out of college, they got nothing. You can't afford a house. Everybody's got nothing, and it's not fucking cool anymore. It's never been cool, but everyone's at the end of their rope. I'm at the end of my rope. I don't know what to do.
Don't give up.
No matter what you do, no matter how much you make, it's not enough.
Don't give up.
You still got fucking nothing.
I feel.
One reason these conversations keep spreading online is because a lot of traditional money advice doesn't line up with what people are experiencing. Older generations were told to work hard, save consistently, and eventually major milestones will become achievable. For many younger people, those milestones feel further and further away every year. Moving out, buying a house, starting a family, or even building a savings can feel overwhelming. Wages have increased in some industries, but for so many workers, costs have climbed even faster. People aren't frustrated because they expect instant success. They're frustrated because they're putting in effort and still struggling to gain financial stability. You can do everything right and still feel like you're standing in the same place. That creates a sense of uncertainty that goes beyond money. It makes people question their future plans and rethink goals they once assumed were realistic. When the gap between expectations and reality keeps growing, people naturally start wondering if the rules have changed. And for a lot of Americans, that's exactly what it feels like happened.
Having a rough morning. So I'm only making this video because I don't want any other single parent, one income families to do what I did. Around Christmas time, to be able to afford presents, my apartment complex, you pay your rent through an app. Really not that serious. I think it's because I'm getting ready to start my period. That's why I'm so emotional. Allow you to do the Livable app where you can like make payments. What it does is it takes the whole rent out at the beginning of the month and then you pay the 3 payments back or 2 payments, however you set it up. Once I started it and did it the one time, I could never get out of the cycle of using it. I couldn't get out of the cycle of paying it because I didn't have enough each paycheck, if that makes sense. I don't get my paycheck on Fridays until like 11 at night. So I make my payment at 11. Well, it doesn't process until the next Monday. So this rent paycheck, I haven't even paid rent yet. It's the 6th. So now I'm getting the $50 late fees. So I messaged the Livable app because it's not letting me pay my May rent. And so I messaged them yesterday and I'm like, look, it says it's still processing, but it's came out of my bank account. Like, how do I make the payment today so that I don't get the late fees? And she's like, oh, well, the window will be open until the 8th. You'll be good. So I go to pay it today. Well, because there's a late fee, it won't let me use the Livable app. I don't even have enough from my paycheck to pay my rent. $100 short on rent, which my mom has sent me Venmo, but I also use SoFi banking, which I love SoFi, but I can't transfer my money from Venmo to my SoFi. So I processed my rent payment, which I know is going to get denied because I highly doubt they're going to let me overdraft $100. I literally have no money for the next 2 weeks. I'm just so mad at myself for putting myself in this position. Like, I knew the day was going to come where I was going to have to just pay rent out of one paycheck. So that way I could get out of the whole being stuck in this cycle of paying that Livable thing. Don't do the buy here, pay your app. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Okay, I love you, bye.
Yeah, those that's how they get you too. And she made a good point, you know, when she said she took it and she got used to it. Right. And that's where they get you. You know, it's like a drug. It's like, oh, shoot, I can just go ahead and pay that and pay them, you know, boop, 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 and I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what I mean by the decision making. You know what I'm saying? We got to know the long term of how this is going to affect us in a sense. And if I was going to use something like that, I'm using it to flip my money and then still have the money. And I done flipped it and I gave them back their money. I'm not using it to know that it's, you know, I'm barely going to, you know, pay them back type of situation. You know, I'm going to either use it to flip it or don't use it at all. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's just sad. And that's what I mean by these little tricks they be putting, man. They be doing this stuff, man. You got to watch them.
Money stress doesn't stay inside your wallet. It follows people to work, into relationships, and into decisions that have nothing to do with finances. Constantly calculating what you can afford is mentally exhausting. People are picking up extra shifts, starting side hustles, selling things online, and finding new ways to stretch every single dollar. Things that used to be optional now feel necessary just to stay afloat. Some people delay doctor's appointments, skip meals, or avoid replacing things they genuinely need because they can't fit another expense into their budget. That kind of pressure builds over time. It changes how people think about their future and what they believe is possible. You start seeing fewer people talk about long-term goals and more people focus on simply making it through the month. Maybe that's why so many videos about money are getting millions of views right now. People aren't just looking up budgeting tips or financial hacks. They're looking for reassurance that they're not the only ones feeling overwhelmed by how expensive everyday life has become. And whether you're a student, a parent, or someone working full-time, it's hard to ignore the feeling that something about the system just isn't working the way people expected it would.
Do I get ignored by an AI picking website thing on this website, or do I do it directly on their website? Who knows? Why do you double care that I'm not Mexican? It's kind of weird that you made me answer that question twice. No, I'm not a veteran. 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 Where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, teetering on the brink of being alive. They said get a degree. They said go to college. They said that there'd be jobs for you out there. No. I sent 125 applications out on Indeed, and I heard back from 2, and there were automated messages telling me I didn't get the job.
I applied for a couple of retail jobs just to get, just to have some sort of income because, I don't exactly think I'm going to get a corporate job tomorrow. So I have to prepare. And I walk into the store and they're like, oh, we're actually not hiring. And I'm like, then why do you have the position on your website? I applied on Sunday. Like, what's going on? If you're not hiring, take that shit off your page. Don't waste my fucking time.
Need to be more honest
That's
about
true.
the
I
current
hate that.
state of this economy and the job market because not enough of us are actually sharing the truth. I'm going to tag the creator who inspired me to even share my point of view on the topic. It's Casanova Brown. So go to his page and watch his video because he shares a really honest perspective about this topic. And what he essentially was saying is that the current state of the job market is essentially manufactured. Like this whole thing around job scarcity and so many people in the job market can't find jobs. Like they're going 6 months, 1 month, 2 years, just a really long time, longer than usual, that people are going without a job. The person that always stay with a job, they ain't got one. You know what I mean? So that's where it's a problem. And based on what I can see, I can tell you a few things. And I think I'm going to give you 3 main points. And the first one's going to be this. I agree with the job scarcity is manufactured. And the reason why is because I believe that, and this is my opinion only, I believe that there is a force that a lot of these organizations, corporations are forcing people into the job market, creating less full-time positions, but creating more contract work. And the reason why is because full-time employees are expensive. So working for a US-based employer and you are a US-based worker, you have to understand, right? Inflation is crazy right now, and it has been for a while. So that means it's going to cost more. We're going to ask for more. We're going to request more. And in good faith, an organization has to at least give you a merit increase like every year, right? So when you forego hiring full-time employees and you move into a contract type situation, that's less that they have to pay in benefits. That's less liability for them as well, because there are certain laws, labor laws, like that they don't have to necessarily worry about. And so I think that they're essentially just forcing many of us into a situation where, you know what? Yeah, we're going to create this manufactured job scarcity so that you don't find a full-time role and you have to go back into the workforce as a contractor so that way we can get the same work for less.
Yeah.
Now, the second thing that I will say, and what I'm noticing is that a lot of organizations, this users only really see this in customer service-based type of organizations or departments, right? You have BPOs. This means that organizations are outsourcing the work. So when you call AT&T, T-Mobile, whoever on the phone, you get somebody who may be overseas, right? This doesn't mean that they can't do the job just as well as someone who is based in the US. But what it means is, again, instead of hiring 10 full-time employees for their contact center, they're hiring 50 for half the price of those 10. Okay. So they can hire literally 20, 100 contract workers for $2,000 overseas.
Right.
In the US, that's 200,000. Right. So they're looking at it from the perspective of, we still need labor. So don't be fooled. These companies are still hiring. Right. they're just not hiring they're not hiring full-time employees, they're hiring contractors. And the same, like the rules that would apply to hiring a full-time employee don't apply to a contract worker. That's my 2 cents. And I'm hoping that eventually this is something that we can sound the alarm on, because if they're not hiring us, like, what do we do?
Yo, man. Yeah, man, I'm gonna end it here, man. I mean, you know, I'm gonna leave the original video down in the link in the description, man. Y'all can go check out the rest. But I guess I'm gonna leave it with this. I understand, I'm feeling it every day too as well. I guess my thing is, you know, I'm just trying to be prepared as much as possible by, you know, gaining skills. I'm learning how to garden and, you know, invest my money in certain places, even the little money that I got, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to put it in places that I could see that can go, you know, long term for whatever I'm trying to do, right? So I'll just say, you know, I pray for all the people that's been on this this video, you know what I'm saying? I hope that their situation get better. I hope you know, that they figure out, you know, something that can benefit them and their family, you know what I'm saying? And you know, they just is not as stressed as they are in these videos, man, because that's one thing I hate to see is people just stressed. And that's why I say the things that I say, because I hate having somebody tell me no, or I can't do something, or I'm blocking you from this. And you know what I'm saying? And you know, I just hate that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the type of person is, you block me, I'm gonna get around you. I don't care what it is, and God gonna help me find it. You see what I'm saying? So that's where my faith lies. I pray that everybody, you know what I'm saying, just be more optimistic about your situation, and you know, start building a community, you know, your friends, the people that really love you, you know what I'm saying, your family, you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people think once you leave 18, you got to go off, get your own family, worry about your own problems, and that's it. Nah, I think that's where they tricked us at, you know. We always need family. I remember when I was growing up, we had big families all the time, always around. Once grandma died, it was like the family structure just kind of was, you know, just shrunk, basically. You know, people ain't calling each other no more. They ain't, you know, we ain't doing no family reunions and stuff like that. You know, I feel like the older generation held it down, because back then they needed that support from the family for everybody to survive. You get what I'm saying? And hey, maybe mom got to move in with, you know, with their daughter or son now, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, grandma take care of the kids while they over there at work, you know what I'm saying? Instead of grandma over at her crib by herself. You know, I don't know the situation, but I'm just trying to throw things out there. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. Anyway, if y'all stayed to this end, man, I thank y'all, man, for listening to me rant, man. Hopefully nobody was offended by me being, you know, more of a devil's advocate in this type of scenario, which is a very serious serious conversation to have and a hard conversation to have. So I appreciate y'all being here. And again, like, comment, share, subscribe, you know what I'm saying, if you haven't already, man. And this is your boy PWS Squire, BWF Media TV. We in the building, and this was another one. Peace.